Alright, let me talk to you real quick about Rexius Nutrition in Ralston. Rexius carries an awesome line of pre-workout from brands like Alpha Lion, Bucked Up, 5150, Insane Labs, and several other brands. They also have a great selection of protein powder, including my personal favorite, the All Max Hexapro cookies and cream flavored. Can't go wrong with that. They also carry the very popular brand Axe & Sledge protein powders, branched chain amino acids, which are crucial to stay hydrated, and pre-workout. They also carry locally owned brands like VHI Fit. They carry their protein powders in several different flavors. They also have pre-workout, branched chain amino acids, vegan protein powder as well. And if you have a sweet tooth like me, you gotta try this Omaha protein popcorn. The owners Jamie and Brent Stryker are absolute studs and are very knowledgeable with a background in bodybuilding. Jamie even reached pro status as an IFBB pro women's physique competitor. Stop by Rexius Nutrition in Ralston on the corner of 84th and Q and receive 10% off when you tell them you're there on an official visit.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Oscar Galindo. I am back with another episode of The Official Visit. And this week we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be not necessarily talking about the week 0 games, but I'm going to be giving a little bit of my preseason bold takes. Some things to keep an eye out this season. Some things, it might be, playoff teams, teams to watch, recruiting stuff. I got a couple bold takes here for you guys. And I'll let you guys let me know what you think in the comments. So, the first one I got is I'm gonna go straight to playoff teams. I'm not gonna predict any state championship games just because at this point we really don't. It's open. It's everybody's 0-0, and there's a lot of changes that happen throughout the offseason. So I'm not gonna predict any state champions. But I do want to give my bold takes on teams that could make the playoffs this season that didn't make them last year. I'll do 11-man D1. It's a lot more teams are in that first round. I believe it's 32. So I won't necessarily cover the 8-man teams. So I won't necessarily cover the 8-man teams for this bold take. Just kind of the 11-man because they do have a little bit of a larger playoff pool with that first round. In D1 and D2. So kicking off Class A, 2 teams that I think will make the playoffs this season. First one is Omaha Central. Central has been a team with a lot of buzz this offseason. They got new coaching staff with Coach Mackey, Coach Muhammad out there, and then they also got a ton of talent that came over from Benson and merged with the talent that they already had there at Central. And it should be a really good squad. Defensively, they have a ton of playmakers. Kevon Newsom led the Class A in tackles last season, had 10 TFLs. DJ Sterling is going to be a player to watch in the secondary, playing corner for them. But yeah, up front they should be strong too. Jerry Jackson Jr., Stephen Owusu. I've seen these. Marlon Jones and then Bryce Little, I believe. 2 long defensive ends, kind of stand up edge rusher role. Marlon, I believe, led the team in tackles coming off and he wasn't even a starter led the team in sacks and didn't even start for the Eagles last season. So, I'm expecting him to be unleashed a little bit more this year. The second Class A team that I think is going to make the jump to the playoffs this year is Millard North. Millard North has a great young group of talent. And then on that Millard North team, obviously Nebraska commit Caden Vermoss is going to be a playmaker to watch on that squad. Probably take the majority of the carries on offense, and then we'll also play safety, that safety nickel-ish role. On defense. So, watch out for him. Pierce Newberry, an absolute freak. Play, he's on offense, play tight end. Just a red zone machine. Just lob it up to him, and he'll more than likely come down with it. And then on defense, he's just insane. You can just play him anywhere, really. He's played on the defensive line. He's played outside linebacker. I've seen him play some safety and done really well. So those two. Henry Reberg on the defensive line is going to be a player to watch. On the offensive line, Christian Kaufman and Caleb Klein. Some seniors to keep an eye out for. But yeah, just a team that I feel like was maybe just a little bit inexperienced last season. Also dealt with a couple things here and there, injuries and whatnot. But now with a little bit more experience, a little bit more. I've seen them competing in 7-on-7 this offseason, and they've moved the ball very well. Or maybe we'll see Marcus Hankins throw it a little bit more this season. They got a ton of weapons, so maybe we'll see a little bit more of a passing attack. But yeah, as always, from Miller North, expect a dominant running game or a strong running game. So yeah, that's it for my Class A teams. For Class B was tough to really find a team that because it's a smaller class. It was kind of tough. But one team I kind of and this might be pretty bold. I don't know though. I like this team. Very young. First year in commission. Gretna East. Yeah, they just have a lot of really good. They're all mostly going to be sophomores and freshmen with some juniors in there. But for the most part, they can ball, man. They're just young, dude. They'll have their games where the lights maybe kind of get a little bit bright, against some of those tougher Class B teams. But for the most part, if we're talking about skill, I think this is going to be one of them. This is going to be a very talented team and a team that could definitely challenge, in the upcoming, 2-3 years. They got a lot of talent from that Gretna team that I think would have just continued balling out. So yeah, Gretna East, man. Hopefully, hoping to see a lot of good things from them. Class C1, there's quite a few in this group. First one I have is Gothenburg. I think Gothenburg's kind of underrated with talent right now. There's a lot of really good players out there. Cooper, shoot, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Cooper Coon. I'm not sure, bro. Jackson Dom. Yeah, just the Evan Johnson. Just a bunch of good players out there. Young players, but players that get after it on the field. So yeah, I could see them making a push for the playoffs. Sydney, they're gonna be a team that I think could be among the best rushing teams in the state. They got Isaac Doty and then Luke Hawley in the backfield. That's gonna be Luke Hawley. He's kind of a little bit of a battering ram of a running back. He can he could take it downhill, bounce it to the outside, and has nice burst as well to break off the long run. Isaac Doty is just an offensive weapon that I think is going to be it's going to be fun to watch this season. The third team, Class C1 that can will make a playoff push. St. Paul, they had a down year last season. I believe they were like 2-7, which is just unusual for a St. Paul team like that. They're well coached. They have great talent. Yeah, I think that we can see a bounce back year from them. I see them back in the playoffs. Next, we got another team that could make a playoff push this season is Raymond Central. They're coming off 4-5 season last year. They're close to making it. They did have a few games that they let slip. A 1-point loss to Wayne. But they also had some good wins in there. So, Kyle Peterson, he's going to be running back. He's going to be pushing 1,000 plus yards this season. Another player that I think is kind of slept on right now and is bound, he's bound to blow up this season. Jude Burton, lengthy, quick, explosive, kind of outside linebacker, edge rush type player. Plays stand up stand-up, roll up on the line of scrimmage. So he's going to be one to watch. Then my next Class C1 team is Ogallala, another 4-5 team. They as well had a couple tight ones that they let slip. 6-point loss to Broken Bow, 4-point loss to Sydney. They closed those out, and they're more than likely in the playoffs. Being that both of those teams, Broken Bow is a playoff team. But yeah, they closed those out, and they're likely in the playoffs. So, the two headliners on this team is athlete Harry Caskey, who likely play QB, but he's just an overall athlete, just a football guy. Plays quarterback. He could run the ball. He could catch on defense. He could rush QB. He could drop back. He could do it all, man. Defend the run. Just an overall football player. He's one that's been getting some D1 attention as well. So he's gonna be one to watch. His running mate Mario Bush, running back, linebacker as well. Tough dude, super strong, super explosive. He can break off or he could bounce off contact. He could dish it out, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, those are my C1 teams. Gothenburg, Sydney, St. Paul, Raymond Central, and Ogallala. Class C2, I got two teams in this group. The first one is Wood River. Wood River is coming off a 5-4 season. Just C2 is tough, man. It's a tough division or tough class to play in. A lot of really great teams, a lot of well-coached teams. I believe they had I don't even know the exact number of teams that went into the playoffs undefeated. Had to been at least 3 or 4. 2 of them. Okay, maybe I'm tripping, but still, And then there's a ton of just one-loss teams there too. So yeah, just a ton of great teams in that class. But yeah, I think Wood River, they have a running back that's tough. It's Bo Rorick. He's only a junior. I feel like he's gonna have a breakout season this year for them. It should be tough up on the offensive line, and defensive line. Waylon Cronk is a good athlete. He should be able to lead them to a solid season at quarterback with the ability to also take off with the ball. But yeah, Wood River, the Eagles, I feel like they can make a good playoff push this year. All right, another team that I believe will make the playoff push this season, staying there in Buffalo County. I got Kearney Catholic. I think they finished the year 4-5. They're a bit of a younger team. Carson Murphy had his first season at QB. I was playing receiver the year before. And then, but yeah, they bring back their, like I said, Carson Murphy. They bring back their top 3 receiving options from last year. It's Jacob Lowe, Isaiah Gaunt, and then Carson as well. And then they should be tough on the offensive and defensive line. One player that's kind of been standing out this summer is Garrett O'Hare, defensive lineman. Good motor. Really get after the quarterback, play the run, all that kind of stuff. So, I think Kearney Catholic should be able to get back into the playoffs and make some noise this season. All right, and then for bold take number 2, I am predicting that we will see 5 new state champions. So that means, out of the 7 classes, 7 state champions from last season, I believe we'll see probably only 2 of them repeat. I'm not gonna say which ones, but yeah, I think out of those 7, we'll see 5 new teams step up and claim that championship. Last year's champions were Westside for Class A, Bennington for Class B, Pierce for Class C1, Norfolk Catholic for Class D2 or C2, Clarkson Lee for Class D1, Hitchcock County for Class D2, and then Parkview Christian for D6. The ones that I will say, the classes I do believe are going to be the toughest to make it out of, or the toughest to really kind of get a scope on it is maybe Class B. I know Bennington's been running it for the past 2 years. They do lose quite a bit of talent, but same thing happened last year, and they were just fine. Even posted better numbers statistically, if you could believe that, or in some areas, I guess. But yeah, Class B, I feel like Class A. I mean, they're all gonna be tough, really. They're kind of all open. Class A, West Side, they won it, but we could see Bellevue West. They got the trio: Danny Kalen, Isaiah McMorris, Davon Hall. Maybe we see like a Millard South come rise up, and they have a really talented squad. Omaha North is one of those teams I feel like is going to be a tough. If they make it deep into the playoffs, one of those teams that makes it tough. In cold weather, they like to run the ball, all that kind of stuff. See who else, and Gretna. I know the senior class they lost last year is a big factor there, but they do have a lot of talent. It's not like they don't. In Class B, like I said, Bennington, they've been running it, but Elkhorn North is a team that I think is right there. They're coming right up. They have great talent. I was at their scrimmage last Friday. Ferguson looks solid, man. He can run it. He can throw it on a dime. Yeah. Chase Lofton's a dog. Their offensive line with Sam Thomas and Brock Marler. All those guys can get after it. So yeah. Scotts Bluff, Sebastian Boyle. It's gonna be a tough one to stop. Yeah, Class C1. Pierce is gonna be dealing with quite a few losses. Namely, Coach Brahmer, Ben, Abram, but they're a tough team, man. They're a gritty team. When you have a near 2,000-yard rusher in Keenan Valverde, you could feel confident that you could probably still run the ball and still put up points with him back there. Aurora, always has a really good squad. Always tough in the trenches, always tough on defense. Booker Shireman looked solid at a 7-on-7 tournament I caught him at this year. Stands tall in the pocket, can deliver the ball very well. Boone Central, in the previous episode where I talked about where we did the rankings, I had them as a top-ranked team. In Class C1, they were turning a ton of talent. Very well coached, very tough team to play, especially late in the year. They're a team that I could see making a huge run at Memorial. Ashton Greenwood, same boat, turning a ton of talent. Both those teams are I feel like they're really hungry as well. Just the past couple seasons, been waiting to get into that state championship game. So, yeah, and then there's just a few other really good teams in that. Roncalli, Broken Bow. Those teams are tough teams. Class C2, that's going to be a dogfight. That one's going to be super tough. Battle Creek, Norfolk Catholic, Hastings St. Cecilia, Utan's going to be tough. Bishop Newman, which, by the way, sorry to the Bishop Newman faithful. I don't know how I messed up so badly and didn't add them in my top 10. Definitely a top 10 team. Definitely a top 5 team. I messed up. I'm dumb. I'll own it. Ord is going to be a ridiculously tough team to play as well. And yeah, Norfolk Catholic, the state champions. Coach Beller, they're returning their quarterback, who's one of the better athletes in Class C2. Just a great overall roster. So, yeah. And then Class D2 is the other one that I think is just insanely tough. I guess before we talk about them, D1, North Platte St. Pat's. Uh, they were the team that was kind of riding high last season. They almost went wire to wire number one before falling in the playoffs. Cross County is going to be a team to watch. Two obviously very incredible players, and Isaac Dickey and Tanner Hellinger, both Power 5 commits. Yeah, Clarkson Lee, they're state champions. They're still going to be a very tough team to keep to play. They return Dylan Higbee at running back, who he played a good part in their success last year. Ryan Brickcheck, sorry if I mispronounced that. Quarterback, senior, and then a junior to really keep an eye on this season is Corbin Lemberg. Really popped in that state championship game. Reported 6'4", about 315, big dude, space eater, but does more than just eat up space in the middle. Gets after it, creates pressure, good pursuit, all that kind of stuff. So, that's gonna be a tough team. D2, yeah, I don't even know where to start with them. They're just, Ainsworth, with the top player in the state, Carter Nelson. But then there's Osceola, there's Dundee County, there's Bruning Davenport, Sandhill Stedford, Central Valley. Just an insane amount of teams. Elm Creek could have a really good season. Bloomfield, why not? Just a dogfight in class D2. And D6, I feel like usual suspects in that group: Potter Dix, Cody Kilgore, Parkview Christian, SEM. Those are gonna be some of the top teams in that class. So 5 new champions. I don't know which 5, and I don't know which teams are gonna win it. So I'll just leave it at that. 5 new champions. All right, bold take number 3, and this is about records that we'll see broken this season. So I got quite a few. So the first one I have is I believe Danny Kalen will break the season passing yards record. It is currently 3,382 yards. He threw for 3,186 last season. Got Isaiah, got Davon, got Ben, got TJ, CJ can catch the ball out of the backfield. Yeah, just I could totally see him passing that. And in doing so, I also see him breaking the season passing completions record. Record is 243. Came super close to that last year. Only 7 away. He had 236 completions. Like I said, when you have a receiver like Isaiah who had 90 receptions, and then tons of just a very pass happy offense. Yeah, I think that's one very well within his range to break. And season receiving yards, that one is at 1,364. And I believe it will get broken. Isaiah came very close last season to breaking it. That's Class A season receiving yards, by the way. Isaiah came very, very close last season to breaking it. He was only 67 yards away. He did set the career or the season receiving or receptions record. And I think the safe bet would be to go with Isaiah again. But I could also see Davon probably breaking that record as well. Whoever the leading receiver ends up for Bellevue West, I feel like is probably going to break that record. So, Class B all-time leading rusher is one that I think is very well within range. Sebastian Boyle from Scotts Bluff. He's 1,581 yards away, which does sound like a lot, and it is a lot of yards. But when you consider the fact that he's averaged in the past 2 seasons 1,850 yards, if you're going by averages, we could definitely, he'll definitely pass that at some point this season. Like I said, that's still a tough one. 1,500 yards that they don't give him out easily, but with a back like Sebastian, and run heavy offense, I feel like that's one that we can see. So, also, yeah, he needs more offers, man, for sure. And the last one I have here, Class C2 pass completion career completion percentage. Carter Jensen from Norfolk Catholic. His average right now is 66%. The record is 61.2. So, all he has to do is kind of keep that average, around that 66 area. Really, probably like even 62. And that's one that should fall this season. Carter, very efficient passer, 63% his sophomore year, 69% his junior year junior year. Sorry. Now I don't know if there's like minimum attempts or anything like that kind of separates them or whatever. But if we're just going off straight, no contingencies like that, then yeah, you should break the C2 record. Yeah, those are some records that I think will fall this season. All right, and now my fourth bold take for the year. My next two are a little bit more geared towards recruiting, and just some of the things I believe we'll see. So right now we're currently sitting at 20. There are currently 26 players committed to play D1 ball, FBS, FCS. I believe by season's end we should be pushing 40. I think 40 players committed to D1 schools. Yeah, this 24 class has really just pushed the envelope. Very talented group of players, very great group of guys. And yeah, I think, like I said, there's 26 players. There's so many players that have offers already, that D1 offers. There's probably more than 40 players that have D1 offers right now. So, combine that with, the players that will break out eventually this season. Players that we probably have no idea about right now. Yeah, I could definitely see this class pushing 40. If I wanted to be super bold, I would even say 50. All right, that's being a little bold, but 40 sounds about right for me. I think that's fair. All right. Then my final bold take, again staying with recruiting, is I think we'll see a ton of players rise in the 25 and 26 classes and end the season with D1 offers. So, and I got some names for players that I believe will be the ones to kind of get their names out there this season. For the 25s, Pierre Allen Jr. from Lincoln Southeast, defensive end, edge rush. He's a player that I think is going to have quite a few D1 offers by the end of the season. Led the team in returning leader in tackles with 75. Just a monster on the field. Xavion Campbell, his teammate, is also an outside linebacker. Dark horse player to watch this season. That could end up on this list of offered juniors by the end of the season. Calvin Jansen out of Gretna, offensive lineman, had a tremendous sophomore year. Didn't flinch in one of the best offenses in Class A. Can make a solid case that he might have been the top offensive lineman on that line last season, which is saying a lot because Mason Coltman was a beast and he's at Nebraska right now. So yeah, Calvin Jansen, I've seen a lot of rumblings and stuff about him. So I think teams are going to pull the trigger sooner rather than later on him. Cole Erickson, there's the Silverhawks already have one player with a D1 offer. That's Jackson Carpenter, the receiver. But I think Cole Erickson joins them this year. Defensive lineman, disruptive player. Very really starting to progress and develop very well. Added some bulked up this offseason. I saw him at the Unsung Heroes lineman camp. And in the drills that he would participate in, he looked very good. just sharp, explosive, powerful. The next players I have from Central, I have Elijah Wayne and Ike Ackerman. I think these are two very talented players. He's made quite a name for himself in the track and world field or track and field world. Two-time national champion. Just very talented, very athletic player. He play tight end, and he's very, very good at that. And you can play him on the defensive line. I'm not exactly sure where he will get that offer from, but I do think I think he ends up one of them. So Elijah, a great player on the hardwood. He's a great basketball player. But yeah, another tight end that could will play defense as well. Outside linebacker, drop into coverage. He's very fluid in coverage. Tall, lengthy player. Both players ton of upside. So yeah, those are a couple players that I think could be on that list. And then offensive lineman from Papio La Vista, Garen Maley, 6'6", 6'7", I think 6'6". Got thrown into the varsity ranks last season. Did very well in his first season doing so, and he just has the size, technique, all that kind of stuff to be a next level. He already looks the part. Super high potential player. And then in the 2026 class, I also think we'll see quite a few players elevate and pick up their first offers. Next from the 2026 class, players that I think will join those varsity ranks, or no, from the 2026 class, the players that I think will end up picking up their first offers this season potentially. I got a couple here. I think Marion Jackson, from Millard South, wide receiver. He's a very talented player. Already plays at a level higher than his age, higher than his actual experience. Very nuanced. When it comes to like route running and all the little things about being a receiver. Great hands. He's already QB Jet Tomla's favorite target on the field. Very reliable. So yeah, AJ Jackson, player to watch. Landon Von Sagern from Papillion La Vista, another lineman from the Monarchs that I think has just a massive upside. Just a mauler, great size already. He was actually no, he already has an offer. Now I think about it, so he has his first offer for sure. But I think we'll see now that he'll definitely probably get some varsity playing time. I think we should see him pick up some offers. So some D1 offers. Another player I have, Caprice Keith. Man, just a great athlete. Son of former Husker, CFL, NFL running back, Kenton Keith. He's looked very impressive in times I've seen him this summer. At safety, very instinctive, very fast. Closing speed is ridiculous. Reads defenses already very well. Just an overall dog, dude. He's insane. He's gonna be a good one. He's gonna be him and his safety mate there, 7. They're gonna be trouble, man. They're gonna be tough to play against, tough to throw the ball against. Caprice Keith, lock him up. Yeah. Next player I got up is BJ Lewis, linebacker from Omaha North. For being a freshman on a very talented, very deep North squad with tons of great players in their front 7. The fact that BJ Lewis still managed to carve out a good role for himself in the season with 42 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 6.5 tackles for loss, forced 2 fumbles. Just gets after it on the field. Great motor, has good size, 6'1", 210, 15-ish pounds. Leaves a mark when he gets to he hits the ball carrier. And two last players I have here, two tight ends. From UTAN, I got Owen Sutter. He's just a physical player, blocks very well, great hands, just, great size already for his age. He's a player that I think has, he can bring the juice, man. He's gonna be a standout on this UTAN team that I think is gonna make a pretty solid run. And then the other tight end, Isaac Jensen, another Millard South player, 6'5", very good receiver. I've seen him a couple times this off season. Does for being 6'5", he's surprisingly very good at getting lost, losing the defense, and ending up behind them. And then the last player I have here for the 2026 class is tight end from Millard South, Isaac Jensen. I think if he gets on the field early and starts making an impact, I feel like he's gonna open some eyes. 6'5", I think he might be like 190, 200. I'm not exactly sure. I've seen him a couple times. For being 6'5", he does a very good job of sneaking behind defenses and getting lost, and being able to. And Jet, he has great chemistry with Jet as well. So he's usually able to find them deep, and especially in the red zone, he's a very, very good target in the red zone. Those are my bold takes for the 2023 season. Just quick recap: teams that will make playoffs. For my first bold take, Class A, Omaha Central and Millard North. Class B, team that this one's a little bit bolder just because they are very young and just new. Gretna East, C1, Gothenburg, Sydney, St. Paul, Raymond Central, and Ogallala. Class C2, Wood River and Kearney Catholic. My bold take number 2 was that we will see 5 new state champions, meaning we probably only see about two that will repeat. And 5 new ones, 5 new teams crowned in 2023. Third bold take, records that will fall this season. I got Danny Kalen and his crew, either Isaiah or Davon, breaking the passing yards record, completions record, receiving yards record in the season. Head out to the Panhandle. I believe Sebastian Boyle will shatter that all-time Class B rushing leader title, or he'll claim that. And then I think Carter Jensen is just gonna put it way out, put the Class C2 completion percentage record just way out there. It's at 61 right now, and I think he has a good shot to put it way past 65, 66. So bold take number 4, that we will see 40 D1 commits, whether FBS, FCS, Power 5. We'll see 40 of them by the end of the season. We're currently at 26, so hopefully. And then 5, my last bold take was juniors and sophomores that will pick up offers this season. And those included Pierre Allen Jr. from Lincoln Southeast, Calvin Jensen from Gretna, Cole Erickson from Lincoln Southwest, Elijah Wayne and Ike Ackerman from Omaha Central, Garen Maley from Papio La Vista. And then for the 2026 class, I got AJ Jackson for Millard South, wide receiver, Landon Von Sagern, O-lineman from Papio La Vista, BJ Lewis, linebacker, Omaha North, Caprice Keith, Bellevue West, safety, Owen Sutter, tight end, U10, and then Isaac Jensen, a tight end from Millard South. So, those are my bold takes. I'm very excited for this upcoming season. I'm excited to see what this year has in store for everybody. I'm wishing everybody a good luck, healthy season. Hopefully everybody, is able to stay healthy and and no injuries, no scary injuries throughout the whole year. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my bold takes. Let me know in the comments what your bold take is for the season. Do you agree with mine? Do you not agree with mine? Do you think maybe there's another team I missed that might make the playoffs? Is there a record that might be broken that I didn't catch? Or maybe you just know of a player in 2025 or 2026 class that is going to break out and possibly be the next D1 talent. So let me know in the comments. Please hit subscribe, like, share, and also don't forget to check out our sponsor, Rexius Nutrition in Ralston, bringing you some of the best supplements and protein, pre-workout, branched chain amino acids, etc. Go there, mention that you are on an official visit, and you will get 10% off your purchase. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I appreciate it. Good luck to everybody, and yeah, let's go.
I can smell all of the smoke, all that love and positivity, that shit is a joke. I should dead them all, my heart ski down slow.